Hello everyone, welcome back to Spar&Brawl. Hope you're having a decent day. So this is the second of three videos that I'm making right now on the last three episodes of the Dropout podcast, which is this podcast that has been following the Elizabeth Holmes case, and right now she's of course on trial. And the last three episodes have been really interesting because Elizabeth Holmes, which many people didn't expect would do this, her team actually put her up on the stand. And this, of course, allowed her defense team to ask her questions, and very big claims and allegations came out, some very troubling ones as well. During that time when her defense team questioned her, so go check that out, that's in the previous video. But after that, of course, it became the turn of the prosecutors to cross-examine her. So I'm just gonna dive a little bit into what happened there. But before we get any further, please like and subscribe. If you've been watching our content for a while, consider doing so. That really helps, as everybody on YouTube would tell you. But okay, let's get right into this. The first thing to mention is that when Elizabeth was being questioned by her own defense team, she was extremely articulate. She remembered everything. She had very precise and accurate answers. But once it became the turn of the prosecutors to ask her questions, she was suddenly clueless, didn't know anything about this company that, according to her, was her life 24/7. And this is what gets really funny, is that there are so many text messages and emails from between her with her previous partner and colleague Sunny Balwani and others at the company that they could just pull up to refresh her memory. So non-stop the prosecutor was like, oh, you don't remember, okay, let me refresh your memory. And then he would read a text saying exactly what he had asked her and that she couldn't remember. I'm sorry, I should have made this disclaimer early on in the beginning of the video, which is that once again, I'm basing most of what I'm saying here on the Dropout podcast coverage of the trial. I don't have any first-hand observations of what's going on in the trial, and I've pretty much watched a lot or most things associated with Elizabeth Holmes, but I found this podcast to be the most in-depth one. But everything I'm saying, the majority is coming from that podcast, except when I add my own opinion and takes. So just take everything I'm saying kind of with a grain of salt, as I'm not myself getting first-hand experience. But so what really happened when the prosecutor cross-examined her? Pretty much, to me, it seemed like she got prosecuted twice. So there was this whole trial where they brought evidence and witnesses and everything, and now the prosecutors pretty much got to ask her everything that she had, that was already talked about. They got to ask her, and of course she would say, I don't know. But then the prosecutor pulled out this evidence. So how that's gonna, how the jury is gonna take that, it's unclear. But it's just really frustrating as a listener in a way. She's articulate and remembers everything when the questions are being asked from a lawyer, and now she suddenly doesn't remember anything. And this is exactly how it had gone when in 2017 or 18 she had been questioned by this commission, so not on trial. And once again, during that time, there are videos on YouTube apparently where she said, I don't know, or something along those lines 600 times. But so I'm going to get into some text messages between Sunny Balwani and Elizabeth Holmes, which are extremely weird and funny, but these were kind of brought up to counter her claims that I discussed in the previous video. So very quickly, one of the major claims in that video is that she made while she was being questioned by her own defense team was that Sunny Balwani is the person who had total control over her life, and she kind of made him do these, behave and become this person that she was, and he was extremely abusive towards her as well. So emotionally, and even it goes on saying that it was even, physical, the abuse. So go check that out. But so here are some text messages that the prosecutor pulled out. I mean, these are hilarious. I mean, I don't know who speaks to their partner like this, or if there are other people out there who speak like this, but these text messages are just hilarious. So let's just read a few of them. They're between Elizabeth and Sunny Balwani, and they're all trying to show how, that the picture that Elizabeth tried to paint when she was being questioned by a defense team don't really add up, and don't really don't really add up. So here's one text message by Sunny Balwani. I love you. I prayed from the bottom of my heart for you. I've never prayed with such intensity in my life for anything and everyone. You will shine. To which Elizabeth wrote back, I love this. This is us together. Perfect and divinity, my nirvana. Then Sunny responded, you're God's tigress and warrior. You're extraordinary. To which Elizabeth then responded, coming from a tiger means the whole universe to me. I love you. So there were other messages that were also read during the trial showing their kind of relationship. And just a little side note, I hadn't realized how religious both Sunny Balwani are and Elizabeth Holmes. I mean, extremely religious. Every bunch of texts ends with praying. I pray this. In her morning routine, which was apparently put together by Sunny Balwani, she almost had 2 praying sessions, if I'm not mistaken, between 4 and 6 a.m. So yeah, extremely religious, which I wasn't aware of. Another example of how how religious they were while they were getting this famous inspection by of her lab, which she claims is the reason why she pushed Sunny out. That inspection made her realize in how bad a shape her lab is, and apparently she did not know about it and how it's going at all. Here's some text messages again showing that she was aware of the process and he was keeping her in the loop as it was happening, and B, again, how religious they were. So Sunny wrote, same issues as FDA pointed out, going bad so far, pray. To which she replied, praying, literally non-stop. So yeah, the praying thing just started to crack me up. I had no idea she was this religious. But yeah, so pretty much overall, the prosecutor made her again go through everything, and then to which she said, I don't know. So it really gave this feeling that she's been prosecuted twice, but they also tried to counter some of the claims which she made, which were all about how she was in this very abusive relationship and that Sunny had full control of her life and she couldn't do anything about it. These text messages were kind of meant to show that they don't really add up. And I also discussed other points in the previous video, which was on the allegations that she makes, which kind of don't add up with what she was saying. And then finally, the prosecutor also pulled out a third document which she had forged apparently and put another big pharmaceutical company's logos on it and everything, removed text, added stuff, and shared it with the investor, making it seem like it came from them. But she had completely forged the document. So actually this third piece of evidence came out during the cross-examination. But also the prosecutor got her to admit that during this time when she said that she was in this very abusive, all-controlling relationship, she had another romantic involvement in a romantic relationship for 4 years, for during the last 4 years when she was with Sunny, which kind of undermines everything that she was saying. And this was her kind of response to it. And she said that it wasn't a formal relationship, whatever that is supposed to mean. But yeah, overall, if it's these last 3 episodes of the Dropout podcast were really interesting and fun to listen to, in the sense that new information came out that we weren't aware of. However, some of it that came from her were extremely problematic and sad, although as I discussed in my video, not really, one of them at least doesn't relate to the case at all. It's just kind of to set the tone and the narrative. So that's it for this video. And the next one that I'm going to make on Elizabeth Holmes is her defense team gets another chance to question her, and a few interesting elements that are actually more relevant, far more relevant to what she's being prosecuted about came out. So that's going to be a final short one. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video. Thank you.